breakdowns and wet coal were among the problems that led to at least 205 days of blackouts. The report suggests that a move away from coal and bringing in a more of a power mix could be the answer, although it doesn't appear likely in the short term. Let's bring in NJ Ayuk, the Executive Chairman of the African Energy Chamber, for more on this. NJ, good afternoon. Welcome to today. We are now experiencing like 2 days almost of no load shedding. Stage 2 will be back tomorrow. Do you read this as some progress in addressing some of the current challenges, especially those faced by the coal-fired fleet of Eskom in terms of age and lack of maintenance?
Of course, any progress made with load shedding is good progress. If we have 1 hour less load shedding, is progress, right? What you have in South Africa. And the issue here is not coal. We at the chamber believe that we need all of the above kind of energy. We need coal, we need oil, we need natural gas, we even need renewables to get us out of load shedding. But then we also have to look at government policy that is saying we should need to move very fast on a transition, but you can't move on that transition by abandoning coal-fired plants that we need right today to power South Africa and fire up industries in this country.
The Just Energy Transition Investment Plan, I mean, what's the outlook there? What are you seeing?
I think it's a drop in the bucket. You're going to need about $99 billion, and we are grappling around $8.5 billion of aid. South Africa doesn't need aid. South Africa needs more to drive more domestic energy, and that is going to be coal, that is going to be gas. You have so much onshore gas with Renergen and Kinetico. We need to approve those production permits immediately. Approve the permits immediately so they can move. Create that stability in the upstream so you could let investors drive in, and South African investors can drive stuff in so you can move with that rather than begging for aid to get you out of a crisis. You can't beg your way out of a crisis. You got to drive your own energy at home, and that's how you're going to do it.
Driving your energy at home, would it mean meaningful incentivization program, for example, by government to encourage South Africans to embrace solar energy as quickly as possible and as widely as possible?
You could embrace solar or you can embrace wind, but you have to also look at the intermittent issues around it. You need base load right now. And the only way to get base load is going to be from coal, is going to be from natural gas. That's what you need to be driving right now, rather than looking at just putting incentives in solar and wind. But the only incentive you're going to need is it's move quick on production licenses, create stability, but also encourage companies that are investing. Right now, you can't even carry out seismic in South Africa today because of enviros really blocking everything with the courts. We need to create that stable environment. 80% of the Orange Basin is in South Africa, 20% is in Namibia. Namibia has seen some of the record-breaking discoveries that would guarantee its own energy security, while South Africa, we are stuck. We need to change that. We need to really look at energy as a part of life, and that's what our State of South African Energy Report looks at. And we're saying you're not going to achieve that by putting more bottlenecks. So we hope this state of disaster can be used as a turning point to ramp up approvals. It shouldn't take too long to approve projects than the time you need to build those projects. We need to turn it around, and we need to do it quick.
The balance between the environmental lobby group and, of course, the needs of the country in terms of building that sustainable future energy mix is a tricky one, NJ.
It is a tricky one, but when you are going 10 hours a day without electricity, and those that are financing and funding environmental groups from Europe, they have electricity, you don't. those that are financing environmental groups from Western countries to keep people in the dark in South Africa and across Africa, they have energy security. The United States just approved an $8 billion drilling program in Alaska. That's balancing environmental concerns and energy security. You need to be doing that. If it's good for wealthy countries to put energy security and the environment together, there is no reason why Africa's most industrialized nation cannot put its energy security first while taking care of environmental concerns. Environmental concerns and environmental stewardship doesn't mean, or us having clean air doesn't mean we have to be in the dark. Nobody wants to breathe clean air in the dark.
Thank you very much for your time this hour about the outlook for the country in terms of energy. NJ Ayuk, the Executive Chairman of African Energy Chamber.